Have you ever had a near-death experience or serious obstacle in your life? We all have. Now, Rene's story is so incredible, and he is going to tell us about how he went from near death to new life and his journey to faith and healing. Now, the first question I have is, what's the secret to your success? And did faith and healing have anything to do with it?
Welcome to Awakened Titans podcast with Lily Patrascu, mind-blowing conversations with influential business titans sharing how you can manifest abundance, love, joy, success through quantum awakening, quantum manifestation, quantum healing, quantum miracles, exponential business growth, and innovative products and services.
That is it, right? My story is an interesting one. I grew up as an athlete when I was young and loved to run. That was the thing that really made me a differentiator in who I was. And running kind of became my thing. And I wanted to become a professional runner. And I was on my way to do that. I made the U.S. junior national team in the States. I was the second best miler in the country. And I just won an international competition and was out on a training run one winter when my life changed dramatically. I was out in the middle of the winter in Utah, and all of a sudden, a buddy of mine was running with me, jumped into the ditch and yelled my name, and I turned around, and all of a sudden, I see this truck coming. And this truck is just like, it's like, I guess the only thing I could say was, I'm going to get hit. And boom, this 4x4 truck hit me and threw me 36 feet. And I landed straight on my face. And then I was unconscious on the side of the road with a bloody nose from earlier in the run that had clogged my throat. So I wasn't breathing. And for all intents and purposes, I should have died that day. But in my opinion, God saved me. And I ever since then, I knew that I had a purpose, but I wasn't sure what that purpose was. And that's kind of where my faith journey comes is later on. I knew I had a something that God had me here for. I was going through life like most people do, just what the world tells me to do. I go to get a job and I get my college degree and I get married. I have 3 kids and I have the white picket fence and I have all the things that the world tells you're supposed to do. And then boom, guess what? A second truck hit me. But this truck was the same truck that hit everybody. It was the pandemic. But the reason why I call it that is because it had a similar impact on my life, right? At that first truck, the physical truck that hit me, I was like on my way. I was really successful and I knew life was good and everything was going on. And boom, all of a sudden my whole life is upended and my running career ends and all my goals in life were crushed. And then I go and do my career and then boom, I lose my sales job. All my career gets crushed. I'm at the same juncture. I'm like, oh my gosh, life sucks. Well, I don't know what to do. But that's where my faith really journey came. And I was looking at what was going on in the world from our health perspective. I saw during that time frame how they were vilifying all natural health doctors. And I couldn't understand that. I'm like, hold it. Why were, when I was young, I read this book called Eat to Win. And, it's like whatever you put in your body fuels your body to help you be a better runner. And so that made a lot of sense. And it helped me a lot when I was young. So when the pandemic hit, everybody's worried, right? How do I take care of myself? How do I take care of my family? And so I went to the all natural route just because of that book, right? From when I was young, I'm like, I know nutrition is really important. So I started doing that. And all of a sudden I see the vilification of this doctor who's recommending vitamin D. I'm like, vitamin D is from the sun. How could vitamin D be bad? So it made literally no logical sense to me why they would vilify him. And so I started researching what their motive was. Why would they vilify him? And oh boy, that's when I really dug in and saw a lot of what I call the evil in the medical system or the world today is they're really hiding. Our medical system has been corrupted in the United States is a really short way to say it. And the incentivizing the wrong things. They're not incentivizing people to get well. They're incentivizing big companies to make big profits. And so that was a really big learning experience. And then since I had that time, I finally, for 25 years, I hadn't had time to sit back and research things and understand things for myself. So I had this great awakening from a health perspective. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing things totally wrong. So is most everybody I know. And my faith journey became really connected. So I started reading the Bible every day, and I started just having this great intuition on what I should be doing and how to help people. And that's what really led my journey, and I think is the key to my success is having that really strong faith and connection to where now I believe my mission is to help people with their health, but also with their faith through their health, if that makes sense. So
Thank you.
There's my long-winded story.
Thank you so much. So now you also worked in corporate America, right? For 20 years, working with Fortune 500 companies and around enterprise software and services. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
You bet. It was really enjoyable in the respect that I learned a lot. I learned how to communicate well with people. I learned how to sell really expensive technology and understand how to provide value to the people. With whatever I was selling, it's like I can't sell this widget unless it's actually providing significant value to these people, right? And then, so what is that value? And then when we find the value and then we can prove that value, then how do we articulate it? How do we communicate it to them so that then they're comfortable taking this investment, saying, okay, I'm going to spend $200,000 on this thing. It better provide me the ROI, right? So I was able to one, know enough about what I was selling and making sure I understood the business well enough that I could articulate, say, hey, guess what? Based upon the other 5 people that I've been working with, they've seen this dramatic change in their business, and it showed a 2x ROI in this period of time. And guess what? You're gonna get 2.5x because of these other 3 factors. And this is why you really need to make this investment. So being able to articulate that and understand that, I think, was a really strong key asset of who I am as a person, to where I could, one, research that and understand it, but then also be able to articulate it in a way that executives felt comfortable with me, as well as saying, okay, I trust you and I believe what you're saying because you've proven to me how it's worked for others. Thus, I think it's going to work for us. I'm going to go ahead and invest in this multi-million-dollar platform that you're selling me. So it was a really, really enjoyable time. I learned a lot.
Thank you. Tell us about your top 5 achievements. And if you can give us like some numbers, that would be fantastic. And how did faith and healing help towards that?
Okay. Yeah, that's an awesome question. So one of the, I'd say a couple of my achievements were athletic. From a running perspective, I won an international competition when I was in college. So I'd gotten a full ride running scholarship, like I mentioned earlier, and I beat 5 different countries in an international competition race. That was, to me, that was the pinnacle of my running career. So I turn a lot of that to my health journey, right? Health was very, very important as part of that. And there wasn't a lot of faith yet in my journey at that point. I was a Christian, but I wasn't really active in my faith. So that was one. You mentioned, we want me to do 5, right? Is that right? Okay, sounds good. So the second one would probably be my children, right? That's like, wow, that's just a huge accomplishment. I have a hers, mine, and ours family. So I have a wonderful wife who's amazing. But my daughter from my first marriage was just incredible. The first baby that I brought to this world, and then my wife and I now have a son who's grown. But it's just, man, just being able to have children is just at a very, very top of my list, and family is obviously there. I'd say those are 2. The third one would be starting a new business. That was a big accomplishment. I'd always worked for other people during those time frames. And so starting my business was a third. I'm going to go back to my enterprise career and selling a multi-million-dollar deal to a really large telecommunications company while I was at my Fortune 500 company. It was just enormous. It was a really, really big deal. It was a pinnacle of my career, and the commissions were more than I had made in a 10-year period. So that was a really defining, very proud moment that I was a big part of a team who closed such a large transaction. So I think that was another big one. And then I'm going to say the fifth one is the creation of this new brand that I've got. Is called Exodus Strong, and it's so exciting because I really finally, for the first time in my entire life, I felt that I'm in the position that God had created me to be. Everything that my whole entire past, everything that I've had done from a running perspective, from nutrition to enterprise sales to literally everything that he's taught me was for today and for what I'm doing, and all the relationship with my faith and with my church and with the Bible. It's it all comes to this, in the respect that he's trained me to be a warrior for people's faith and health. And if I can help them with their health, and then and then also introduce what I believe is really important is faith in that same journey and context, that I believe that's why he has me here. And our mission, this new brand, is to get 1 million new people to read the word through their health. So we have an amazing product that really physically helps people in a really dramatic way. It's like the most incredible product I've ever seen. And then it's going to help them with their body. But then guess what? Everybody also, in my opinion, needs to have faith as well. So we want to help them with both. So There's my top 5.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so tell us 5 steps entrepreneurs need to take in order to further their careers and their lives through faith and healing.
Yeah. So really, really good question. In order to be confident enough to be an entrepreneur, you need to have faith, right? Because it's a journey just in and of itself, stepping out. So I think having faith and confidence in yourself is super, super important. I think just education and understanding what you're trying to accomplish, right? Because no matter what entrepreneur type you are, what business or niche you're going into, understanding that niche and being confident that you can be to execute in that niche, I think is very, very important. So just having a good foundation of that. So that would be the second one. The third one is just how do you communicate with another human being in a human to human way, right? So that human to human connection is super important, because people buy from people. People don't buy from a computer. And so there's a lot of e-commerce today, and even though I'm in the e-commerce world, they still have a connection with something or somebody, and there's a reason why, right? So they're going to read a review, or they're going to see a video of me and or somebody else that's talking about this product, and they put themselves into that position. They say, okay, is this product really going to help me? And then do I have a similar problem that person does? And then they can put themselves in that position, and then they can, if you can do that correctly and have that really human connection, then that's really going to help you actually be effective, because then you're going to be able to sell your products to those people. So I'd say that's the third, right? That human connection is very important. And then I'm going to say the fourth one is having a communication with your Lord and Savior. I'm going to say that because I think it's really important, because I really have become much better person since I've been reading the word every day. It's literally the living word of God. So as you're reading the word, he's communicating with you. If you have the Holy Spirit inside you, you can work with him literally, in a literal sense, and he will help guide your steps. And I don't know if you've heard of seen the picture of a person walking along the sand, and they're walking, and there's two sets of footsteps, and then there's only one. And the visual is Jesus is holding the person as is walking through it, and instead of two people. So it's just, I think that's really important, right? That you can have that connection with your Lord and Savior. That's going to help you be a better entrepreneur and executive. And then I think the last one, which is also very important, is just the financial acumen, right? Of knowing what your numbers are, so that you can effectively run a business into a profitable business, and then hopefully you're taking that business acumen into something good, that you're actually doing good with whatever you are. Because if we're at the end of the day, if we're here just to make a buck, then that's literally, you're providing no value to anybody, right? But if you're providing value to someone, and then you're able to take what you do, that value that you do provide, and people will pay you for that value, and then you do something with it, man, what an amazing impact you can have on the world, right? So I think that's just a really key mantra that I have, is everything that I'm doing is literally not for me. Everything that I'm doing is to help other people. And if I can help other people, then the Lord will bless me for what I'm doing. And I think that's really important to manage. Just think if everybody had that same concept, that it wasn't about me, 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 me. It was like, how can I help you? And if we all did that, man, what an amazing world we would have.
Thank you. Tell us some of your routines or habits in order to implement faith and healing into your daily life, to help yourself and to help other entrepreneurs to achieve more effective results.
Yeah, that's an awesome one, because it's real super important. So every morning I have a routine that I think is very important. Is I get up and I read the Word. I think that's really important. I try to do that before I look at my phone. Try to do that before it. And then when I'm reading the Word, I literally read the book of Proverbs, where there's only 31 of them. And so I read that proverb of the day, and then I go do other readings in addition. But that Proverbs is just amazing, because it's just the wealthiest and the wisest man in the Bible wrote that, right? So you should learn from that person. So I do that. I think that's really impactful to my daily routine. But then from a health perspective, I also think it's really important the way you set up your morning. So I do things strategically, where I try to do a cold plunge every morning. And then that really helps a lot with your energy levels and get you in the right spot. And then you need to hydrate. So I talk about 3 things that I want everybody to do that's 100% free. You can do these. It's hydration, right? You need to get enough water in your body. So hydration helps your brain, right? So it helps everything about what you're going to do the rest of the day. So hydrate well. And if I'm 200 pounds, so I need to drink 100 pounds or 100 ounces of water. Or 100 pounds would be a lot. I need to drink 100 ounces of water. And so just do that. Take your weight and divide it by half, and that's how many ounces you need. And then get some sun. Remember that vitamin D discussion I had earlier on, where I was like, why are they vilifying this guy? The sun is so incredible for you. So you need to get sun. That's right. If you look at the source of life on this planet, if without the sun, we don't have plants. And we don't have plants, we don't have life. So sun is just super important for us. And then the third one, other than the cold plunge, is I try to ground. So I guess there's 4 things I do every morning that I really work hard to try to do. And grounding is really similar in the respect that you get your feet out on God's given earth for 5 to 10 minutes. And when you do that, you're discharging all the bad energy, and you're recharging your body's energy system. And when people told me that 5 years ago, I thought they were nuts. I'm like, really? Come on! My feet are sensitive. I don't want my feet out on the grass, But when I learned the health benefits of doing that, and I've been having such a blast being on this health journey, because it's just so exciting that you can help people in a really tangible way with their health. If you go back to the basics, right? You get nutrition, you get hydration, you get sun, and you get grounding, and your body's going to start doing what God intended it to do, which is heal. Right? God made your body so incredible and wonderful that if you do the right things, you're going to heal. So it's exciting.
Thank you. So are you saying that if entrepreneurs place their feet on the grass, that helps them to relieve some of the negative emotions?
Yeah, and the energy really it just charges bad energy and recharges you with good energy. So it's literally a scientific fact that you can go look up at grounding and say, what are the scientific benefits of grounding? And it's dramatic. And so it's your body just discharges that bad energy, and it literally recharges. It's like plugging your body into a wall socket. That's the kind of the analogy you can look at when you go get your feet out on the ground. It's really, really important. You can buy a $5,000 mat, if you want to do that. So that does the same thing, but the $5,000 mat is pretty expensive, right? So I'd rather do it 100% free just by taking my socks and shoes off and put it on the ground. Does the same thing.
That's exactly what I was going to say, that I knew it was a grounding mat, but I wasn't sure how much it was, like a blanket of some sort.
Yeah, there's that as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Very, very expensive. Okay, very good. So where can entrepreneurs find you?
Yeah, so Exodus Strong is the way to find me. That's a new brand I've created, and it's so exciting because we've created this new supplement that is groundbreaking. It's got 7 biblical herbs and superfoods that come from the Bible that are amazing, but then it's got this molecular hydrogen blend that is so significant, and that's why it's helping so many people. It acts as a master antioxidant in the body. So it gets rid of all the free radicals inside your bloodstream and clears them out. So literally your blood recycles every 120 days. So if you use the product for 120 days, you'll have a clean blood. It's really helpful. And so it'll get rid of a lot of issues that people have with inflammation, and whole sets of health issues this product is helps for. So anyway, I'm just over the moon excited about it. So exodusstrong.com is the best way to get a hold of me.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential business titans, providing you with the insights to awaken to your full potential, so you can get paid to be yourself, find true happiness, and manifest anything you desire.